So in this video, I'm just going to be showing how to disconnect a battery and how to jump start it. So disconnecting the battery is fairly simple. You have a positive terminal and a negative terminal, and generally when disconnecting the battery, you want to disconnect the negative terminal first, just because on the positive side it's generally a bit more reactive. So taking off the negative side, I already loosened this side up, so you can touch it with your hands. Just unbolt it. Most batteries are pretty much the same with how they connect to the car, but the main thing you want to be looking after is you want to make sure that the tool that you're using on the negative side, let's say I had a longer bar for some reason, you want to make sure that they don't touch each other. Like say it was able to touch this side and that side, that would cause a whole bunch of sparking, and it's really not good for the battery. So now that this side is loosened, sometimes you just kind of wiggle it around to loosen it up, and from there, now your battery is disconnected. Usually that means your radio is going to be reset, or really sometimes you might get a check engine light just because the car is restarting. And same thing for this side. All you do is loosen it up, turn left, and that starts to loosen up the battery. You want to make sure that this negative side right here, when you're loosening this up, you want to make sure that this doesn't go back onto the terminal, because that will cause more sparking. So as you're taking it off, same kind of way. I haven't taken the positive terminal. I haven't disconnected that in a long time because I don't really have any need to, so I'm just going to tighten that up. You always want to make sure when you're tightening back up that it's tight, because if you're driving and you hit a big bump with a loose connection, you will actually sometimes disconnect the battery. And it happened to me once. I didn't know how tight it should have been, so when tightening it, just make sure it's tight on there so you don't accidentally have the car disconnect from the battery as you're driving. So the next thing that is important to know is how to jumpstart your car. So right now I don't have another car how to showcase how to jump the car, but I do have a jumper box which I will be showing you how to use. So negative terminals are always almost black. And normally positive terminals are almost always red. On my car, for some reason, it's still black, but you can always see a positive and a negative sign somewhere near the terminals. So getting out the jumper box, here's my jumper box. It's pretty convenient. Let's just see. So this right here shows the battery level, so it's saying that we have just barely under 13 volts of battery in this. It has an air compressor too, which is very nice for tires. So turn it on and it turns on a compressor. So actually jumping the car, we see on the back that we have a positive cable, negative cable, and a switch to turn on. So before you actually put the cables on, you want to make sure that it's set to off. Then you get the positive and connect it to the positive terminal. And just to make sure, you can see there's a plus on the red, which means positive. Then you just grab the negative cable, put it on the negative, and from there, all you do is you turn it on and you try to start up the car. And if your battery is dead, that will start up the car, but don't shut it off immediately after starting it up. If your battery just recently died, you need to give it time to recharge the battery, and the quickest way to do that is to drive it around town. Make sure that if you have a stick shift car, make sure that you don't stall it right away, because normally that will kind of drain the battery even more. And just make sure that you don't go to a gas station right as you start driving and you shut off your car. So from there, since my battery isn't dead, I'm not going to actually jump it, but that is how you do it. Actually, jump starting to another car, I believe I have a diagram for that, so I'll just import it into this video. And it's pretty similar, but only with the negative, I believe you just connect it to the body of the other car, and then the positive actually connects to this car.